Like for once in my life, I feel like I'm in control, and like I'm the creator of my life. I feel like that is so important going into this. You have to know you're in control. You have to, a lot of it too is spiritual. You know, I tie it in because you can learn so much about yourself, what you want, and manifest that. I feel like this lifestyle is a mindset, like recharge, and it allows you to grow and do what you need to do.
Y'all, we got some fire today. Oh my gosh. So obviously there's a lot of talk these days about, sugar babies and sugaring and sugar dating. And to be honest, a lot of us really don't know much about it other than like just a general definition. But today we have somebody here to give us the real deal. I can't wait till she introduces herself and gives us some information. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to 8 at the Table. But today is going down. All right, we're going to start off with Jada.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Jada B. I'm back, baby. And today we are going to be talking about what is better, sugar dating or regular dating. And we got somebody that's going to get down to the nitty gritty. And I'm going to have a little something for you too. I feel you. So let's go ahead and introduce our guest. You ready?
Yes.
Go ahead. What's your name, girl?
My name is Eva Diva. Hey, y'all, it's lit. I'm going to talk to you about anything you want to know about being a sugar baby.
All right, I know people are going to want your Instagram. So give us your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, your whatever you got going.
So mostly I'm on Instagram. It's Eva.
Let them know.
_ Diva. That's DEEVAA. So Eva and then _ DEEVAA.
So you're not even just a regular diva. You the diva.
Yeah, the diva.
All right, we're not playing around today. I need to know how you got into this, what led, what happened in your life that made you be like, you know what, this is a better deal for me. Like, why wasn't I doing this 5 years ago? So take us down the path.
So for me, honestly, getting into this, it was more of like I wanted a lifestyle change. I feel like I grew up and the lights clicked. I wanted to focus on my goals. I knew what I wanted out of life. So I entered this like with the mindset like I want to change my life for the better and get what I always wanted from life. So that's what made me get into it. And dealing with like people that didn't have the same goals as me just made me like completely change,
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
So like, do your parents know? Do they care? Is there any judgment?
My parents do not know because they're strict. We never really had this conversation. So it's not something I would openly talk to them about. But
they gonna know now.
They gonna know.
Right.
Somebody gonna send them a link. Girl, you seen?
Listen, I be trying to hide stuff.
But it's all good. It's my life. I'm not ashamed of it. I love it. So that's how I feel.
So what's the best part of being a sugar baby to you? What do you think is the best part? Like, is it, the luxury lifestyle, the gifts, the where you live, how you live, or is it just the freedom, like getting to do what you want? Or
I like you said that, like freedom. I feel like I'm in control of my life.
Absolutely. Okay.
Like for once in my life, I feel like I'm in control, and like I'm the creator of my life. I feel like that is so important going into this. You have to know you're in control. You have to, a lot of it too is spiritual. I tie it in because you can learn so much about yourself, what you want, and manifest that. I feel like this lifestyle is a mindset, like recharge, and it allows you to grow and do what you need to do. Okay. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go first.
So I guess with the relationship that you're in currently, how did you find your partner, or did he find you, or is there a website, or,
There's websites. We met on a website. I feel like that's the easiest way.
So men already know. They're coming into it looking.
They know.
Okay.
They know. Like, it's a filter between regular dating because you tell them what you want, like, before you even meet. So they know off the bat, like, what they're heading into. They sign up before you even meet them. They signed up onto that website.
I was trying to, we were having a little short conversation before we started recording today. And one thing that I do know is that when men are looking for a sugar baby, they usually have a type. They usually say, okay, I like a woman that's tall, blonde, very skinny, or, you know, whatever. Or I like a girl that's short, dark hair. Like, people have fantasies, and people are willing to pour into and pay for those fantasies. As long as, you know, you guys have rules and stipulations, whatever it may be, it can work out that way. Some people don't want a relationship, but they want to have that fantasy there whenever they want it, whenever they have time for it. Okay, when I get off of work, you know, I want time to myself, but then when I call you, I need you to be there so that, you know, I can enjoy what it is that I fantasize about. And I think that, you know, that's kind of the job of a sugar baby in a way. And, you know, the woman gets to benefit because it's like, all right, if I'm everything you like and you take care of my lifestyle, then we both win, you know, and I see you when I see you.
So you said something very important, benefit.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably look at it as if the woman is benefiting more. But at the end of the day, this is a mutual benefit.
Right.
Because he's getting something out of it, and so is the woman, you know. So I think that's one thing that we probably want to be clear, because you know, people gonna get in the comments and thumb thug and call you a gold digger.
No, yeah, and I like that
you
say that, because so many people feel like you're taking advantage of someone or you're using someone, and that's not it at all, you know. Yeah, you can have that, you know, but that's not what primarily it's about. That's not what you come into it for. It's a mutual agreement, you know. So
what are like some of the, like, I guess, baseline rules that you have set in your relationship or previous relationships that makes everything work?
It's personal, but I mean, really, it depends on like who you're talking to, what you guys talk about, what you agree on, what you want from any relationship that you get into.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so do you think that sugar dating is better than dating for love or dating or real dating? What do you think?
Not real, regular.
Like regular dating.
Vanilla dating.
Dating someone just because, damn, he fine. Like, let me go see what you know.
Oh my God, I got over that so bad. Like checking if a guy is fine or not. That's like, that's not my priority, because it has nothing to do with me.
Right.
You know, I feel like, oh, I'm fine. Why do I who cares? You know what I mean? Like, it's not about him. It's
like
about
attraction, though, like attraction-wise. Do you
Yeah.
feel like you can go outside and be extremely attracted to someone and say, oh, I want to get to know that person? Or are you just like, look, if it ain't about
I
the
shut
money.
it off. Like,
Yeah.
I find like a dude that's cute, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. It's like thinking anyone's cute. You can think
Right.
anybody's cute.
Do
You
you
see
feel
a
like-
girl and be like, oh, she's pretty. I feel like if a guy's like, I'm like, oh, he's cute.
But do you think that in those situations, it's more like some situations when it comes to sugar babying, it's like I'm about the money. When I see somebody that I think is attractive, it's more about the sex, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's like more geared towards that when you see someone's attractive, or do you ever look at it like I want to fall madly in love? Do you even give a fuck?
No, because like I know what I want from a relationship, so I don't go into it like, oh, does he look good? Does he have a six pack? Is he this height?
Right.
This and that. There's more important things in life.
So
know,
it's money
that-
first. It's like, does he
It's-
have a bag
it's
first?
not like that's important too,
Yeah.
but again, it's a lifestyle. It's a mindset you have to have. Like, what are you going into relationships for?
Right.
Back in the day, as women, we were trained to like be partnered up with people that can provide for us. So that's ingrained in us, you know. So this whole thing about, oh, he has to look sexy, he has to look good, that's like conditioning. And it's been our downfall these last maybe 30 to 50 years. Because of media, this and that we lost our way. And I feel like sugaring's bringing us back to like how we used to date.
And how you should be treated and
Exactly.
manicured. And so, you know, here we go, getting in Jada's business. But coming from someone who has been, you know, in the sugar bowl, I can say that it also can be a little dangerous in a way, because once you've been sugared, once you've been in a sugar baby or been with a sugar daddy, it almost like stops you from being able to date anybody that's not able to provide a certain type of lifestyle. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, 100%.
There's absolutely no way that you can date someone after that can't provide a certain lifestyle. Like once you get to a point where you don't pay bills and then you date someone and they're just like, I can't pay all the rent. Maybe you could pay 30% of it. You just like, the fuck is you talking about?
And
What?
for women, a lot of times 30% is always like 60%. Because it's like when you get into that 50-50 thing, you're always required to do more as a woman.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's ways like you don't see, but it's like subconscious. We always have to pull more weight. So I don't believe in 50-50 when it comes to relationship. There definitely has to be balance, but not in that way, because women always end up doing more. And the dynamic does not work, because a man, his job is to provide. It's been ingrained in him for thousands of years. That's how he knows how to function. So if you bring a female that's not bringing that, it never works. You know, you have to have a right balance and dynamic, and energies have to match for it to work.
I have a question, right? So the stats show us 87% of these relationships are short term, right? Sometimes 11% are a little bit long term, but only 2% lead to marriage. That type of dynamic. Like, do you want to get married? Do you have a long term plan? Like, if the guy that you're with can't provide, like Jada said, now I'm used to this lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
But both people are going in with intention. You're with intention, he's with intention. Now you go into the, let's say, quote unquote, vanilla dating real world. What do you do? Like, how do you navigate
I think you
that?
just don't call it that anymore. You guys are in a relationship now. You're past that. Like what you said, the statistics say, it's like you get to a point where you pass that. That's probably why it says 2%. Because you don't look at it that way anymore. You're just in a relationship now.
That's your man.
When you're dating, like, just like when you're married, did you say, oh, we were dating, blah, blah?
No,
you just say, like, we're in a relationship.
No. What I'm saying is, like, the stats are against you, right? If you are a person who gets to a point where, like, now I want a serious relationship, I'm thinking about marriage because I want to have kids, whatever your reasoning is, right? The stats are against you, where only 2% of these relationships lead to, like, marriage or long term. Do you ever worry about that? Like, how am I gonna, like, now I'm used to this lifestyle. Now, how am I gonna be able to find a man?
Answer. Let me say something real quick.
You figure out what you want, and it makes you, like, let's say you're regular dating. You get your heart broken, you get your time wasted, you get your energy, you get used, you know.
You're driving a Toyota Camry.
Your bills aren't paid,
sorry.
like, it's miserable, you know, but you have to come to a point where you're tired of that, where you take, like, the control, like, you're in the steering wheel of your own life. You're driving your own life. You know, you make your own decisions, and you know, like, you want someone to provide for you and have a better life instead of dating, like, bums and people that are not aligned with you.
Once you become a woman that has been properly taken care of, you carry yourself a little bit.
He won't even approach you, the man.
Men will not.
They will know.
They will know from the jump. I can't just come at this girl any type of way. Thank God that I did experience having a man take care of me and being a sugar baby, because now I am with a man that I do love, that is able to take care of me and knows that, okay, like, you know, when shit gets rough, you know, I depend on you. You know, like, he's someone that I have a connection with now, but knows where I come from and knows that, like, I expect a certain thing from a man. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of women never get to experience what it's like to be fully, like, a soft woman that gets catered to, that gets, like, you know, like, a man calls you up and say, you know, hey babe, like, I have these flowers waiting for you, you know, the freaking massage
that
lady
may
is
even
gonna be at the
happen to
house.
them, and they won't accept the offer because they've just been so damaged and used to being the man in the relationship and muling and doing all of the hard work, that when it's in their face, they're like, oh, I don't know what this is. They don't want to accept it. They don't think they deserve it.
I see that.
You know, a lot of women think, like, they don't deserve to be treated well
Can you
because they
expand
never.
on that? Like,
Oh my
first
goodness.
of all, you said muling.
Yo, I've seen that.
I never even heard of that.
Muling is, you ever see a mule and it has, like, all this stuff in their back?
Yeah.
And they're, like,
Bearing the
trucking along,
burden.
bearing the burden. That's what it is, you know.
I see a lot of women that say things really, like, you know, because they either haven't experienced it or they look like, you know, people use the term pick me and stuff like that. You know, they want to come off as a certain, like, I'm a strong woman, I don't need you, whatever the hell pick me category is. But, like, some women are just like, oh, I don't want a man to do that for me. I don't need a man to do that for me. But you will let yourself get used and abused by people that can't do a damn thing for you. And I'm so against that. Like, I'm that friend that tells me, when friends come to me with some bullshit, I'll be like, bitch, girl, you bugging. Let me tell you what to do it, how to do it. This is a step by. I need to write a book.
Write a book. That's what I feel. I have like all the answers. So it's like you really can't sun me because it's like it's hard when you're in this lifestyle for someone to really like think they can get over on you. Like a lot of men, they're portrayed as like the chasers. They're the predators. So if they see that you're weak, they will prey on you and they'll keep taking from you. And you say no, but you have to have a boundary. You have to say no with that action and cut it off.
Let me ask you
have to shut it off.
So I'm actually glad, Jada, that you brought up where you were and how it evolved into where you are now. So, because I want to know, like, what is your long-term goal? I mean, like, I know how old you are, but I'm not going to put that out there. But, like, what is your long-term goal? Do you see yourself, like, forever being in these types of relationships? Or do you want a more traditional relationship eventually? Or pretty much when it serves you? Because right now you're doing what serves you. So do you see your perspective changing at any point?
Not really, because this is my lifestyle. I feel like it's a mindset you have. So anyone I'm dating, it's going to kind of be this way where it's like you either have to match me or you're doing, you're in the act of a man, like providing. We have that agreement. It's always going to kind of be this way. I can't see myself.
But are you looking, so, and I'm specifically talking about like a sugar baby relationship. Like, so at some point you're going to age out. So when you age out, like, what do you do? Like, do you then pursue
I look at it like there's someone always like older than me. If I keep myself up, honestly, when I'm like 50 years old, he's gonna be 80. You know what I mean? Like, so for him, I'm a step up. I'm still a sugar baby to him. So it's.
I mean, what are the numbers on like ages? I need to know that.
48% of sugar babies are between the ages of 18 and 22. 30% are between the age of 23 and 26, and over 27 accounts for 12%.
All right. So knowing those numbers, you're going to age out.
Yeah. I feel like also it has to do with a lot of women not taking care of themselves and believing, you know what, once I hit 30 or 40, I'm done. I hit the wall. I can't do this anymore. And they have that mindset, and it's not true at all.
These statistics ain't true.
It's not true.
Every sugar baby is not even tapped into these statistics. I'm gonna tell you that first of all. And I'm not just saying, oh, sugar baby is life. But what I'm saying is,
it's not reality.
First of all, let's go back to another statistic that we've had on 8 at the table. 70% of women file for divorce. Am I right? Didn't we say that? That's a fact.
Women are the ones that initiate divorce. Okay.
Exactly. 70% of women are the ones that initiate divorce, right? And I think it's because as much as men feel like they're the ones that want to have a good time and live life before they get married and find that perfect one, women do too. A lot of times women are like, I've lost myself in this relationship.
They're scared to speak up, though. They have the stigma. They don't want to have that stigma against them. Like, they're masculine or like women are shunned a lot. It's hard for us to speak up and say, what we want to say. But I feel like when you have this mindset, it like obliterates that and it allows you to express yourself and be the kind of woman you want to be with that. But you have to be fearless. You can't care what people think. So many things are put on women that are not true, and they end up,
So is there any point in dating for love anymore? Is that still a thing? Like, do you think women should move away from that narrative of like dating for like, no, for real? Like, would you say women should move away from what we've been sold in terms of romance?
Yes, because it's conditioning, and we have to scale back on that because centuries ago, we are wired to not date for love. Dating for love is a concept that's newer. We're not predispositioned to think like that. So that's why we end up in a lot of divorce, I'm not saying sugaring, like it's 100%, you won't ever get divorced, but I'm saying, it's important to not just look for love or look for looks or attraction right off the bat or go into it with lust. You're supposed to go into it with standards. That's how we were always married off. Like in a lot of cultures, like families married you. You married because, oh, this person was financially able to take care of you. Or, you know, they come from a good... Dowries were paid all the time.
Yeah.
So this sugaring is nothing new at all.
And I have to play devil's advocate here, only because we live in a very different day and age. Like, the way love has evolved and the way marriage has evolved and the way relationships have evolved, we know where we came from. The position that you're
Our
making.
wiring has not changed completely, though, is the problem.
No, and I get that, but the thing is that how does that work for women in the workforce, for women who want careers, for women who want to be soft and have a provider husband, this, that, and the other, but aren't necessarily about the sugar baby lifestyle? Because the thing is that everything that you're saying, I agree with as far as you know, a man providing and protecting and producing. However, I would not categorize myself as a sugar baby. I wouldn't categorize myself when I was dating as sugaring. You know what I mean?
You don't necessarily have to, just you kind of dating up. You know, you dating someone that matches your requirements, you know.
And that's why I was saying that the statistics might not be 100% accurate, because a lot of people don't consider themselves
a sugar baby. It's a fine line. It's something kind of personal that you
Everyone's
put that
not
label
open
on
about
you. But like a lot of people might not know they're sugaring and they still kind of are.
Can I get the definition of sugar baby?
Yep.
Because I feel like it probably has an aspect that we're not, that makes it different from just
I mean, I could tell you.
dating up
I could
or
tell you what it is.
hypergamy.
Give your definition.
The definition, what the mass majority thinks is people think that sugaring is a young girl, maybe 20 years old, dating a 70-year-old guy, prostituting herself, and this and that, and only dating him for money, and that's pretty much it. That's what they label it as.
I do think that's what the assumption is, but I think, go ahead, what is it?
It doesn't necessarily have to be that.
So a young female or male who is financially pampered, cared for by a sugar daddy or a sugar mama in exchange for companionship, i.e. sexual favors.
All right, so
Yeah,
relationship.
sexual, what, you know what I mean?
A relationship, but you're being spoiled.
Yeah,
a better relationship. So let's go into why.
Right, but there is a difference between hypergamy and dating up and being a sugar baby.
The negative connotation that sugar dating has.
Well,
you know, like once you say sugar dating, it's like, oh, there she goes. She's a gold digger.
Let me tell you, once you do it, you would rather. Just like with some men. Once you do
I
something,
imagine.
you would rather. Once you date a girl that's a certain whatever, the hype shit, you don't really wanna, you're not paying attention to the regular shit. You know what I'm saying? So once you do something, you would rather be there than to go back to what, you know, it's basically what I'm trying to say is there's levels to this shit. So once you get to a certain level, you ain't about to double back and go back to.
For
I'm
sure.
not gonna go be with somebody that got it and that's taking care of me, and then go be back with somebody that can't do a damn thing for me, or I got to do 50-50. 50-50. I wish a man would tell me 50-50 these days. You have the wrong bitch. I'm not doing 50-50 with nobody. I'm not.
Is that, like,
but somebody else might, and that's okay. That's what she might feel good in that relationship. But because I've experienced life a certain way, in a different way, I'm not doing it. Life feels so
never
much better.
force anyone to get into this or do this.
Right.
You know?
Everybody has a different feeling.
But y'all, let's be real. There's a difference between dating up and sugaring. Like, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is what's going to be in the comments. They're like, y'all are trying to flip the definition of sugar babies and sugar daddies and this, that, and the other. Because hypergamy and dating up and having standards is not the same as being a sugar baby.
People are just sensitive to labels. That's what it is, you know. One's called hypergamy and one's called...
I think what Aaron is trying to convey is, like, when you get to the nitty-gritty, right? I agree. Sugar baby, it's not a transactional relationship. I think it is a relationship where there are clear outline boundaries, right? If 87% are short-term, that means both people are going into it. We're not talking about what our
So we can say long-term is hypergamy and then more short-term.
No. I think when you're dating up, let's say you're dating with intention. You see how, like, I want to have that connection. I want to fall in love. I want to have children. I want to make sure we have similar values. I want to build a life with this person.
That might be more hypergamy, and then dating is
but
dating.
you have certain boundaries and expectations and standards.
More marriage-minded.
Right. So within that, right, you're dating with that intention. I think with sugar baby, it's a clear understanding of
and coming
this
from
is what we
someone-
are.
And coming from someone that
Yes.
is dealing with that as well, because I've said it in previous episodes, I was a person that was in that lifestyle and having a good ass time, and I'm just like, where the fuck is this gonna end? Like I'm having so much fun,
Right.
like, you know, everything just seems like just great, but at the same time I want to fall in love. I want to be with someone who gets me. I want to fucking bake mac and cheese and curse and talk about the white man. It's like, I'm joking. You know what I'm just saying? Like, sometimes you want to have somebody that you have a connection with.
Right.
And this is where it gets very fucking hard, right? Because now you've experienced a certain thing. You've experienced a certain lifestyle. If I want to walk into Chanel right now and get a bag, I can go and I can get me a boy bag right now. And I can go into Paris and freaking drink, you know, have whatever lifestyle that I want, right? Wagyu steaks, fucking sea bass all day. You know, I can you get the Rolly, you get the Audemars, you're living it up. You know what I'm saying? Penthouses, that's your lifestyle. But then you realize, oh my God, I'm not complete. I've said this previous episode.
Enough.
You get to a point, and not for everybody, this is what happened to me. You get to a point where you're just like, I'm not fulfilled, and I want to have kids, and I want to have a family, and I want to build a house with someone. There's certain things that I want. I want to have a garden. I want to have a real cute, you know, little, you know, like I want to have a certain
feel you
lifestyle.
on the garden business.
You get what I'm saying? Like I want to have a certain lifestyle, and you realize that you can't have that with this person that's just giving you everything and they enable you. So
Who's
this
to
is where
say
it
you
gets
can't
hard.
find another person though that fits that reality,
Right.
You know, you feel like you don't have to settle, that can give you all of that. It's totally possible,
Right?
you know.
That's true.
Well, y'all,
And that's why I'm
everything
with
is
someone.
possible. Just because something is possible does not mean that
It's gonna
It's not
happen.
as
Yeah.
fast.
We're not,
No. But this is the thing. It's possible, but it's not about to happen right away.
Right.
So with my man now, he's a provider, but all that other extra shit, I'm not walking into Chanel every other week and shit like that. But it's gonna happen. But it's called just being patient and being a solid
And
partner
building.
and being there for him and taking care of our child. And some days I'm just like, yo, this shit is hard. I just put a post the other day and was like, yo, being in a relationship, no, not being in a relationship, being responsible is fucking boring. Being responsible can be so boring once you experience that. And that's the dangerous part. Because once you experience a lifestyle where it's just nothing but benefit, fun. If you end up having a situation where you get sick, anything, something can happen, and then you're at a point where, all right, who's gonna hold me down? Who's gonna have my back? Who truly loves me? Who's gonna really take care of me? And those things are what you start thinking about, and what you're like, all right, this is what I gotta realize, that I need someone that's a real partner, someone that's gonna hold me down and love me. Now,
No, go ahead.
no, you know, but don't get me wrong, like, at the same time, it's a hard thing to do. It's hard.
You mentioned that you've been in your relationship between 2 to 3 years, right? So, I mean, it's kind of a long time. Do you see
Sugar
yourself
dating, not in the same, you know, relationship.
Oh, okay. And you're right, because I actually wrote that.
I have a question. Like, two things. It's a twofold question. Like, how do we help women not get the short end of the stick? And what kind of emotional state do you really need to be in? Because how do you not fall in love, right? Because you can easily fall in love, and then he's like, that's not the terms. Do you see what I'm saying? You came in here knowing what it was. Now you're emotionally invested. Is it emotionally straining sometimes for some people?
Can you answer the second question first?
Wait, what was the second question? Say it again.
Like, how do you manage your emotions?
I feel like when you have boundaries set, it's easier to maneuver and like navigate your emotions and control them. Especially getting into this, you have to be like a certain kind of person already stepping into this. So I don't find it hard to, you know, not be emotional about it. But when there comes, everyone can get, you know, tied to someone or like start to get feelings for someone. But sometimes you have to scale back, or sometimes this person is on the same page as you. So it's like you can grow from that. It's not so like one way, you know, everything's kind of personal when it comes to this. It's open. Like, you're in control. You're the creator of this. You drive this. So
What's your like long-term plan? Like I know you said you're gonna be a hot mama at 50 and your sugar daddy gonna be 80, but like as far as a traditional family, like kind of what Jada was saying, like do you desire that? You know,
yes, but I do have an open mind because like anything can happen in life. You know, it's not always gonna turn out the way you want it to, but you still have aspects where you can.
You know, and can I say another thing? That's another scary thing, right? Because, yeah, that's the thing that everyone wants. Like, I want to get married and have the perfect family. But then I just talked to my great aunt the other day, and I'm like, girl.
Not girl.
Like, girl, what's up with this marriage thing? Like, is it really, you know, like, everybody has a different view on
that's what this is life. You know,
like,
this
you
is
feel like when you're a woman that doesn't care about marriage and shit like that, you feel like, damn.
You feel ostracized. You feel weird. You feel like, you know, like you're left out. But I mean, these are like real life thoughts that happen, especially in this day and age. You know, it's a really sensitive topic because it's just dating in general and marriage is changing in dynamic how it used to be. So, you know, everyone's like, oh, do I even want to get married?
Right.
Like,
because it used to be like men getting a woman. If you find a wife, you find a good thing. That's what's in the Bible, supposedly, right? And
Not supposedly.
Not supposedly.
'cause don't give me the quote in the Bible. But
Y'all, Jada be at Bedside Missionary Baptist Church on Sunday.
right. But like, you know, you find a wife, you find a good thing. Why? Because she's basically taking care, like being a wife, you know, not in all situations, but being a wife is a lot of work. Being a husband is a lot of work as well.
Absolutely.
And now I think we're in a time where people are like wanting to be selfish. Like, I want to enjoy my
marriage,
life.
Kids, like, you know,
monogamy, like
But
what?
do you think that's also the narrative that you're being sold? Right, because I think what's happening,
We've been
people
sold
are.
everything.
No, I know, but I think especially in the last few years, it's discouraging because, especially with social media, right? 15, 20 years ago, news didn't spread that quick, right? Now, every 5 seconds, there's a heartbreak story being posted that's going viral about you not taking care of me, you're not doing what I want, da 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 da. We are a whole community, the whole world. So everybody's like, if this is what marriage is, I don't want it. But the reality is there's a whole another group of married people.
And I follow a bunch of happy black couples. I follow all the black love pages. I'm trying to figure out what the hell y'all done did. Give me some tips. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Get
there's
date
a
box.
get date box. You know what I'm saying?
a lot of it is knowing what you want and focusing on
Exactly.
that.
And
like,
everybody is
and not
different.
shifting your focus.
Yeah.
If that's really what you want a happy marriage, and that's your outlook on life. Focus in on that and tune out the noise, and that's what you know you should do. Everything else is just noise. If that's really what you want,
You're big on manifestation, aren't you?
I am 100%. I feel like a lot of this ties into that. I'm a Leo.
So, I actually. Oh wait, did you get your question answered?
Oh, like women not getting the short end of the stick. Going back to what you were saying, Aaron, right? Like if you don't necessarily, like you look like you have a plan, right? And Jada, you touched on this. Like I'm having a good time right now, and sometimes you get lost in the good time. And
Very easy.
Yeah, very easy
to get
because
lost.
It's so wonderful. And then based on the stats, I'm not saying it's real life, but let's say now you're 45, right? And you're like, damn.
But imagine having fun for 45 years, and then the last 20 years when you're alive, you're just like, I wish I had.
Girl,
somebody
you
to
gonna
lay up
die
with
at
me.
65?
I mean, you might have got some kids, you might, whatever.
Hopefully,
But
Right.
some people are in miserable relationships that they can't get out of. Some people are being abused. Some relationships be hard too. So you have to pick your poison in a way. It's like, do I want to, you pick your poison. Like, I don't know. That's just the difference.
I agree. It's life,
I don't know if I'm, saying the right thing or not, but you do what you want to do. Times are changing so drastically, and I feel like some women want to get married, some women want to have a good time and be a city girl till they're 50. And I just feel like
Is
whatever.
that realistic?
What is realistic though?
I just
Sometimes I feel like I'm in the Matrix. The lights be dimming, and I be like, "Did I do that?"
No, y'all, come on now. Realistic is meaning, will it happen? Will that assertion be successful?
Realistic don't even be
See, that's the thing.
always fulfilling because who created the realistic? Like,
I don't
who
know.
created that?
Like, you can't fight numbers. Like, the thing is, people use outliers and exceptions.
I wasn't a part of that statistic.
No, not this.
That's how I know them numbers ain't right, because I was a sugar baby and I ain't say nothing on that statistic. I ain't say nothing.
You done aged out. We talking about these people right now.
I wasn't part of that statistic. They ain't asked me, do you like being a sugar baby?
I just wanted to know, like, when people, like,
did they ask
outliers. Here, Jada, go.
They ain't asked us.
About the outliers, because it's just like, yes, I don't doubt that you'll be 50 if you want, and you'll be with an 80. Or like, I don't doubt that. But you might be an outlier. Do you see what I'm saying? You might be the exception to the rule. And I think what happens is sometimes we feed people exception to the rule and say, you guys, this is the general what will happen. And you might even be the exception to the rule, Jada.
That's my take on it, is anything can happen, you know, but you're in control of what you focus on and what you want, what your terms and goals on.
Focused, though.
Yes, because I know what I want.
I know, but I don't think a lot of sugar babies
then, you know,
are.
that's what they have to go through, you know. There's
Her life
stages
is
to
good,
this.
what she's basically saying.
No, I know.
There's stages to this. They have to go through that. Like, you'll go up and then you'll fall. You'll go back and forth. But, you know, that's the stage in life that other sugar baby's at. You know, I went through that, you know.
What?
You know, like, you don't always know, like, exactly.
Just trying
like,
to figure it out.
Figuring things out, you know, and other people might be figuring that out, and that's okay. And they might always be, or some people might learn, and they might get what they want, you know.
It's like a high, right?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Being a sugar baby is like a high. Almost every time that I do go outside and decide I want to, you know, this is too much information, forget it.
You can't
But
start.
no, like, almost any time that I'm outside and I'm approached, it's not by just anybody. Most of the time, they're just like, And no, don't get me wrong. Like, you go to Vegas and they're just like, that's a prostitute. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's almost like there's a lot of men that come up to you and they're just like, look, I'll take care of you, right? And women are just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to say no to that. And I'm in a relationship, and to this day, I go outside, and I don't know what it is, but I am approached very often to, like, be taken care of. Like, I'm talking about, like, what made you even come and talk to me? And why are you talking to me? And am I talkative? Like, you know, what is it? So it's like, once you experience stuff like that, you get to a point where you decide, all right, which side do I want to be on? I decided I want to be in a relationship. So, you know, I ignore all of that now, but the old me would have been like, I'm with it. Like, you know,
your
like,
mindset is more like, you feel like you want to maybe settle down. Like, you want to have a relationship. You don't want to cheat, and you don't want to. But the temptation is definitely there, and it's a lot. It's
when
a
man
lot,
comes
you know?
sit next to me and he look, I know what the fuck you.
It's hard for someone to stop doing it because of the temptation, you know. But again, it comes back to, what do you want? Do you want to settle down? Do you want?
When a man comes sit next to me and I know you, when you know your shit, you know your shit. I know what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
You
have to be like, the old me would have robbed the old me.
But can I ask?
It would have been a wrap. What you doing next week? And do you have your passport, bitch? Because we got a trip to take. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But I've been there, done that, and I know how. You know, for me stage. Personally, I'm just like, I want to chill.
Enough.
But it still can be like, it can mess you up in your mind sometimes, and you're just like, oh, I'm at home sweeping, folding clothes. You know, my baby's crying. You know,
you living real life. Get FOMO a lot.
I still don't have that nanny. I said I was never gonna fold clothes, and here I am. You know, like, you get to a point where you're just like, damn.
But you know, you have to have, like, self-acceptance. That's what you have to have maturity, accountability. That's the lot I have in life. This is what I wanted, and you know,
I see the bigger picture in my situation.
You have to be present and be aware of that. You know, this is what you chose. Everyone makes decisions.
Absolutely.
Can we go back to your initial question about women? Like, how do we get women to adopt the sugar baby mindset? So I'm not gonna say adopt the sugar baby like action or lifestyle, right? Thank you. But more so the mindset, such that women are not muling, such that women are not finding themselves in these in these non-mutually beneficial relationships. You know, and I know that I know a lot of men are going to like disagree with me, but this ain't about y'all right now. Right. I just think that women we're not even taught to have the mindset that you're talking about. Like, if you know you want a certain type of lifestyle, then you need to do this, and you need to keep doing this. You need to stay on this path. You need to, like you said, manifest certain things, and you need not get pulled off to the side because somebody had a six-pack.
Right.
You know, if your thing in life is, I wanted to be treated a certain way. You know, I want a man who does X. I want, you know, X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, 3. Like, how do we impart that mindset to women?
Get your heart broke one last time, one good last time you're going to learn, because you have to be mature. You have to understand your self-worth. You know, it has everything to do with that. You know, when you can't pay your bills, or when you're not getting what you want out of life, when you're, you know, down and you need healing, and, you know, you don't have any friends to talk to, or this, and that will change your life real quick. When you're like, I've had enough, I want more out of life, I know what kind of man I want, I know what kind of life I want. You know, that will change you real quick, real fast, you know? So.
And another thing, how would you suggest women are to go about aligning themselves with
research
men who have those same thought processes and ideas? Because I'll say this, I used to want to marry a surgeon. Like, I just knew I was going to marry a surgeon. They
got egos on them, girls.
Well, so
Wait, what?
They got them egos, girl.
But the thing is, I mean, a lot of men with money and men who save lives, and, you know, like men who build things, they all have egos, you know. And I could deal with an ego because I got one myself. But what I'm saying is, like, how do we like impart this, like,
the same way you deal with that bum that broke your heart, that has a big ego. You knew he had lower self-esteem than you, and you still let him play you. What's the difference? Now you're with the guy who's giving you much more, instead of just having your time wasted, your energy taken away from.
You know what?
You know,
ladies, there's so many rules, right? We're supposed to follow so many rules and do what everyone expects us to do and be the woman that everyone wants. Oh, you can't have this many bodies. We do it all the time on 8 at the Table. Oh, I want a woman that,
Not
you know,
we.
is gonna, yeah. But, you know, I want a woman that's gonna come home and cook and not be outside. There's so many things that is expected of us. But I think it's important to live your life, experience the men. You know, it's okay to date. It's okay to meet different men. Because men, you're going to meet some men that are not going to know how to treat you, and you're going to meet some men that are going to be like, you know what, I want to treat you like the queen that you are. And that's why I think it's so important, because while y'all men are telling us, oh, I want a woman that you know, she don't go outside. Why are you telling me not to go outside?
They get away with
home
so
with your
much.
ass?
Yeah.
You want me? That's an insecure man. So look out for those men that are like, I want a bitch that don't go outside. Okay, yeah, because you know that if I see too much, you're not going to be an option. If I see too much shit out there, I'm going to realize that you ain't really got much to offer compared to what somebody else has. So therefore, I'm going to go out and I'm going to date and I'm going to see what other people have to offer. Just like you go out and you date and see what you like, I'm going to do the same thing. Don't settle on the first man that gives you bubble gum and dick, baby. You need to go outside and see who's going to treat you right, spoil you, pamper you. Don't be insecure, because there's a man for every type of woman. There's fat fetishes. There's big booty fetishes. There's motherfuckers that like being
Hairy toes and
hairy armpits. There's a man. I tell y'all this all the time, women.
there's a man for every. You have to be.
You can
confident.
have whatever
You have
the
to be
fuck.
confident.
Confidence.
Sell yourself. You know,
Confidence.
every woman has something, has an asset to bring to the table. It's important that you know that you're self-aware.
Confidence.
You bring that to the table. Don't let any guy ever judge you. Same thing he's judging you on. Oh, I don't want you to be a stripper. He's at the strip club.
Right.
You will see that
is.
Negro, and that goes for anybody at the strip club. You will see him
Men,
there.
I'm
It's
sorry.
happened to me.
I see it all the
Y'all,
time. Men
like-
contradict themselves all the time.
I have to go back to what Marie said, because this was beautiful. It was poetic. Like, I
And it's the
loved
truth,
it.
though, because we've
But
experienced
just,
it, Erin.
I agree,
the
but
truth.
I'm gonna be honest. I know that you're an outlier. I'm an outlier and you're an outlier. Like our message really needs to be about the average woman and the average man.
But
you know?
once we level up our consciousness as outliers teaching young women, the standard for men will be to match us. You know, men, they mirror
totally
us,
agree,
you know? So when we raise our consciousness and we level up, the men will have no other choice.
You know why there's so many city girls and stuff right now? You know why there's so many city girl gang? You know why it's so many? Because these are young ladies that have seen their moms be taken advantage of, their aunties,
is the generation
their
of
grandmothers. They've seen every woman that they love be taken advantage of, and they're just like, I'm coming back for all of that shit.
So you think
I'm coming back for
are they
the
jaded?
I'm coming back for all of it.
These are the
Imagine
repercussions.
how many women know multiple baby mamas and happen to take care of homes by themselves and never getting shit, living in a hood, never being able to come out of situations because they've never had the love and the support from men. I'm coming back for all of it. That's how some of these city girls feel. That's how I would feel.
Yes, this is a shift that's happening. That's, you know, women have been dragged for hundreds of years. What we can do, how we can dress, who we can be, that now you're seeing the repercussions of it, of women.
That's the repercussion, yeah.
The energy is, I am tired. I want more out of
And
life.
I want to be happy.
And I will do it by any means necessary, hook or crook. And that's
You
it.
said hook or crook.
And I don't want to sit in the
by
house
force
while you
or
go,
by fire.
And I don't want to sit in the house while you're a Rolling Stone, falling in love with woman after woman, and I'm just at home waiting, meals ready, kids are bathed.
Yeah.
You know, like women, we're doing that.
I have a question. Is it a pretty
I be splitting
privilege
the
thing,
fence because I got a good man at home, so y'all know I do.
I'm looking at Jada like,
Girl, shut up.
is it a pretty privilege thing?
No.
Right? No, I just want to know.
It is, but not at the same time,
Can you
because
be
there's
a sugar
lot of
baby without pretty privilege?
yes, if you have the confidence, like
Women
Jada
take
was
on
saying,
projects, men take on projects.
there's men that are into any kind of woman, but you have to be confident enough to know that and, you know, exude that and sell yourself like that. Like, this is what I want. I don't care if I look like this and that. He will respect you.
Wait, but don't you have to be a sugar baby? Like, but don't you have to have somebody willing to? You're saying yes, there's a man out there for every woman. I get that, but is there like? Someone has to be buying what you're selling. If you are not in demand, if you are not
always. You got to start somewhere.
No.
You got to start somewhere.
But this is real. Like, the numbers have to be in your favor. If men aren't looking for bald-headed women with blonde hair, then I'm just not going to be what's hot. People aren't going to be checking for
Somebody
me.
always
You
is.
have to find your target.
No,
like
y'all, no.
Every woman has to find their target. You know, that's the wrong man. You have an audience.
I absolutely agree with that.
You have an audience. You
Back
know,
to my
that
surgeon story. I absolutely agree with that. And women, this is what one thing I said. Well, how do we impart this knowledge?
Right.
So this is one thing. When I knew I was going to marry a surgeon, my husband's not a surgeon, but when I knew I was going to marry a surgeon, like, I was like, okay, so let me hang out with my doctor friends or my friends who are in med school. Let me go visit them on break, you know, so I can be around, be in that type of company. You know, let me go to, Houston got a, you know, Texas.
Houston's?
Houston has like the biggest medical center in the world, the Texas Medical Center. So it's like, if you want to marry a doctor, prime time is in Houston. Please do not move to Houston because Houston is packed. We don't want any more people moving there. Hopefully the flood comes soon and floods everybody out. But real talk, like I would like, yo, where's like the doctor meetup tonight?
But
you
this
know,
is the thing.
like
That's what you think.
No, what I'm saying is that this is what women have to position themselves, and she said this. If you want a certain kind of man, you have to put yourself in a position to be approached by a certain
But
kind
as
of
much
man.
as men say they want a woman that has her shit together, that's not always true. A lot of men don't want a woman that has all her shit together because that gives them more control. You get what am I
That's
lying?
a whole different
That's another
bag of
topic.
issue.
So it's like I can be a medical student or a lawyer and be looking for a doctor, but sometimes he's like, this girl got too much.
But that's
I didn't go to med school. I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying in general. You were too qualified sometimes. Sometimes
that's not the guy for you.
Right.
It's going back to what you're saying that like.
And after guys finish
guy
medical
for
school,
you.
I'm sorry, they want to have fun. They're at the strip club. A lot of times when guys finish, girl, you making that face, and I'm telling you the truth.
They go into residency, and they work in
80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after them 80 hours, when they need that drink before they go home,
but so is the garbage man.
Everybody
and so is the plumber.
Right.
And so is the electrician and the lawyer.
And a lot of times, some people are too qualified. Sometimes they're just like. Some people don't want to have to do more. Like, okay, she's gonna expect a lot from me. You get what I'm saying? So they're gonna find somebody that I ain't gotta do much. I spend a little money and we good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally, a lot of men have trophy wives. That's how it's been for a long time. I'm not saying that is the way, but I'm just saying, in general, this is how sugar babies and sugar mamas think. I mean, sugar daddies and sugar babies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's not that's not a deep relationship, right?
No,
it's mutually beneficial.
Sometimes, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I can appreciate that, right? And that's why I agree with you. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. I don't think it's transactional. I don't think it's escorting. I think it's clear. It's understood. We're both on the same page.
Right.
There's that piece. And to me, if do it, right?
Sometimes it's like being in an open relationship, maybe.
Whatever works for you. But I think on the flip side of the coin, right, in what Aaron's talking about, for the other women who don't necessarily want that mutually beneficial relationship, they now want a deep connection, right? What Aaron is saying, how do we, and I appreciate what you're saying, we got to get them to level up, but how? Like how?
That's the women?
Yeah, you're saying, how do we get women to know their worth?
Let's start a class.
Know what, you know what I'm saying? Have clear
but
boundaries
honestly,
and expectations.
you know.
But they don't have, because when you say, like, now you got a whole group of city girls, whatever, because they watch all the struggle, to me, it sounds very much like you're jaded and bitter and upset, and now you acting out. But okay, but how do you get women to a healthy place? Like, this is what I deserve.
You've healed, you're learning, you've done your research, and now you've changed. You know, it doesn't have to be negative. There's people that do that negative side, but there's also a positive way to do it.
That's what I'm trying to say. How do we get them to have insight that I'm not out here wilding because of this? I'm out here wanting what I want because that's what I deserve. Do you see what I'm saying?
You see how like there are like years of a like, this is a new lifestyle. It's gonna take a little while for this to fade out.
What lifestyle?
Phase, like the city girl and the lit dudes, whatever. This is a phase that's gonna take years to fade out. We never thought 15 years ago that we were gonna be completely dependent on our phones. And now even that trend has made life is changing drastically before our eyes.
Technology will really be the key to see how things turn out.
This is going to bring another situation.
You know, in the future, it really comes down a lot to technology.
That's not something you can change overnight.
That's what's going to change people and the way they view things and how information spreads. So, you know, it's hard to have a crystal ball these days because we don't know what innovation is going to come out with to change people's mindsets. Right. So that's a very important aspect.
And as you can see, people are followers, big followers. So there has to be somebody, which there are. There are plenty of people that are role models for relationships and couples and stuff like that. But again, a lot of people are not following those trends because they're already traumatized. They've already had family members.
That's why I put a big emphasis on like healing past your traumas. You have to go through a lot of that so you do things in a healthy manner that doesn't put you in a place where it's at detriment.
See, I think that's the key. That's why you're, I don't want to generalize. I think when we was talking about outliers, right, your perspective on it is a little bit different. You're talking about coming from a space of healed, you know what I mean? You know what you want. You're very clear and concise about it. I don't know if that's the general rule. I don't know if people are healed and have clarity around when they're a sugar baby. And I'm not generalizing, so I don't know the stats on it. But I wouldn't think that you have that clear vision board idea mentality that you have, because that's what you have.
But you're and that's very obvious, with it, that you're very clear on what you want, where you've come from, and like your path forward. But I still have to bring it back to like dollars and cents. The average man in this country in 2019 was making like $57,000. And there are way more average men than there are, what's the word? Not average men.
Right.
So it's like, if there are women who want to be sugar babies, where do you find these men? Because
and a lot of the women want the same men.
Exactly. So like really, so
a small percentage.
Again, the numbers have to make sense, and the numbers really aren't in many people's favor when it comes to like. You can have all the standards and high confidence and whatever all you want.
A lot of people aren't going to get them.
Somebody still got to be buying what you selling.
You can always be taken care of when, like, let's say you're in a situation and he's not really all that wealthy, right? But you're okay with that as long as he's taking care of you. Anyone can give you something. Like if you're cool with someone just giving you $100 and then that's your agreement because he doesn't make a lot, he can't shell out thousands, then that's what it is, But that same girl might be exercising multiple dating. So she's getting $100 from maybe 10 different other people, or maybe she's just getting $100 from that guy because she's okay that, oh, you're taking action and taking care of me. So it depends. It's really personal.
And I think like what we take from that is women need to have standards.
Yeah.
Women need to stick to their standards.
Yeah.
Women need to see red flags for what they are, and to be honest, we have to choose better. A lot of this is our choice. We make a lot of poor decisions when it comes to men, and I won't. And we know pickings are slim, but I'm not about to go there. Even though pickings are slim, it's still our choice to be with these men, to be in these relationships. And I think that we have, we got to tell our younger homegirls, our friends, our little cousins, do not stand for the bullshit. Yeah. Like, we literally, like you just said, we saw our mothers, we saw our grandmothers, go through the bullshit. So we're just be like, you know what? I did not like that, so now I'm doing this.
Right.
But
in a healthy way, though.
Exactly. Yes. But we have to teach. No one was teaching us. We just know what we didn't like, and we're acting differently.
And that's in multiple ways, not just like with men. It's like, oh, my mom was, she wasn't that domestic. I want to make sure that I'm more domestic. Right. We're like that in so many different ways. So that is one of the things. My mom didn't have a man to take care of her, and she was stressed out and very a strong woman. And I just don't want to particularly be that. So I think that is why. So many people are trying to heal now that they're trying to become something that is not forced on them. It's expected for me to be this way because my mother was that way. Right. So I think a lot of people are trying really hard to break those generational curses in a way. Right. So I think, not that being a sugar baby is a way, but it's like expecting more from your partner. Making sure that you're not just being taken advantage of and you're getting just as much as you're giving. And I think that that's important.
In the mindset, like what you're saying, it can apply to so many situations. So many. I'm for it.
That's why, I don't like to put such a label. Like this sugaring thing could be so much more. Right. Because it's what you make out of it that's so important. Because everyone can exercise their options in different ways that suits themselves without having the label necessarily. But it's like you're exercising still being a sugar baby or whatever. So it really depends.
Right. All right. All this stuff is cute. I have a question. I need a wild story. I really need to know a wild story, the most money you done got from being with somebody.
I'm not doing it. I'm gonna lose my mind.
I mean, look, the title on the thing is gonna be talking about
it's so funny
being a sugar baby.
You know what's so funny? A lot of times people think that it's way more than they were saying stuff about women in Dubai doing some crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, this is not a good look. I just came from Dubai. Literally went to Dubai with a friend that was very well off. Me and my homegirl went to Dubai, and people at that time are like, oh, they're pooping on girls for money, and I'm just like. That's when I was just like...
I ain't posting no pictures.
It was bad for me because I'm just like, yo, they're making people who, women that even travel, we can't do shit. Whole time I'm just down there, sipping drinks, chilling,
But are some women being pooped on?
I have no idea. I've never heard of anything
stories
like that.
I actually read that story, too.
Yeah, me too, I did.
I feel like those are extreme stories to,
scare people,
gimmick,
make feel like shit, and make you feel like you getting dogged.
Just to shame you.
By the way, this is a no judgment zone. If you like to be pooped on, that's cool.
That's on you.
And some people getting pooped on for free, and I just think that's crazy. People, but at the same time,
literally and figuratively.
And I just don't, and I feel bad because it's in that situation.
It's just to shame you. You know, a lot of it's to humiliate you, to shame you, and that's always done.
I
to
remember
women.
feeling bad at that time because I went to Dubai.
Nothing new.
My story. I want my story.
Erin wants her story. She wants a wild, crazy story.
Like what kind of story?
I don't know. What's the most amount of money you've gotten in one of your sugar baby situations, or has anyone ever? I'm sorry, my sugar's getting low. Has anyone ever like asked you to do something crazy, and you know you're like, I don't really know, but all right. For that amount of money, maybe I will.